So, you are, much to my chagrin, a country music fan.
Grin or grim? I think it's grin.
What did I say?
You say grim.
Chagrin. Chagrin?
Chagrin? Chagrin? Sugargrin. Sugar grin.
To my chagrin.
This is what we're all about here on this podcast. Figuring out.
Much to chagrin. Chagrin.
Chagrin.
Yeah, much to my chagrin. I don't even...
Like grinning?
So what is chagrin? Anyways, doesn't matter. Much to my chagrin, you are a country western fan.
Sure am.
I am not. However, one of my top 5 favorite films of all time, maybe top 3. I can't say definitively without sitting and working out the list, but I will say confidently top 5. One of my top 5 favorite films is around, is country music centric, sort of. Have you seen Walk the Line?
I have not. So I need to take a moment here and
retake your driving test.
Shout out. No, I need to shout out.
Oh, okay.
Your mama.
Okay. I got a good mama.
Yeah, you got a good mama. She's
Yeah.
She's a good lady.
I like her.
She called me out on some stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah. She sent me a text. She's
Oh
like,
my God. Like about the podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, she got personal.
She was like, Carl, you got to stop swearing so much.
Oh.
So I'm going to try and stop swearing
F you,
so
lady.
much. No.
Oh, okay.
A mama says something, you listen to your mama.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't make
true.
your mama cry.
I would on it, like if your mom came up to me and gave me attitude correction or behavioral correction, I would, at least in front of her, clean up my act. 100%. 100%. You got stuck again.
Yeah, your laneway's a son of a gun.
That sucks, dude. That's that blows.
Yeah, we're gonna do some digging.
That's
I don't think we'll have to dig too much. I think we can just push it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So walk the line.
Yeah.
And I listen, in the intro, I kind of said there's 2 things that I need to clarify. One is, yes, for the Movie Men podcast super fans that are going, whoa, hang on a second here. Jeez. Hey, Mom.
I warned you.
Mom, if you could text Carl and tell him he coughs too much on the show.
I warned you before you started recording.
Yeah, that's fine.
You just mute me when you see me going down.
The what was I saying? God, this is like
Much
what
to
a
the Movie Man.
Oh, the
podcast,
super fan. The super
fans.
fan is gonna look at this right now and go, excuse me, haven't you guys? Isn't there like episode whatever
1742?
Is probably like less within 50. I would say probably episode like 20 something. Didn't you guys Brady and Pete reviewed Walk the Line? Yes. This is a rehash, not rehash, it's a retreading of ground that has already been trod by the Movie Men podcast. However, 3 things. 1, it was forever ago and opinions change. 2, Carl wasn't a part of it, has never seen it. And for a film that's in my top 5 favorite films of all time to be a film that Carl has not seen feels worth, delving back into.
All very good points.
And for the third point to that, the first time we reviewed it, it's probably the episode, even though it's not our first episode, like we kind of cut our teeth a little bit. It's probably the worst audio quality of any episode that we've ever done on this show. And we don't know what went wrong. It's just echoey as shit. Like, it's just like, it's garbage. It's almost, for me, it's unlistenable too.
That's what happens when you record in a metal box.
We were not in our normal space at the time. We didn't really have like a treated area, but it wasn't a good room that we were in. And so, yeah, we decided to kind of go back into it again here. The other thing that needs clarifying,
you decided.
I decided. The other thing that needs clarifying,
that's how this works,
is that, country western, sort of. I always talk about how I don't like country music. There's a caveat here. Johnny Cash music is great. I love all of the music in this film. Love it. I think there's a big difference between Johnny Cash, Hank Snow, kind of country.
When you listen to Country 98 on the radio station, you need to just turn in Sunday nights after 9:00.
Is that when they actually play real country?
That's the Bluegrass Express, baby. That's when you get the real good stuff.
Well, it's not even bluegrass. Like, I don't mind bluegrass.
That's what they call it.
Oh,
that's
okay.
what they call it. The Bluegrass Express. And it's like old school stuff. Like,
okay. But I mean, I wouldn't, Johnny Cash, I wouldn't say is bluegrass. But what I don't,
I wouldn't either,
when I talk about like, country music and how I hate it so much, it's the big stadium country. It's my boots, my truck, my girl, my dog. They played
Johnny Cash and other guys like that on the Bluegrass Express. It's just, they call it the Bluegrass Express, but it's just older Western.
Old classic country.
Yeah, classic country stuff.
So, anyways, just phenomenal. So my experience with this, we'll do initial impressions.
We'll do initial impressions. That's how this works.
I love this film. I love
That's it?
This
Is
film.
your initial impression? You're done?
I think, and for the record, we did watch the extended edition. And so it's like something like 13 minutes longer than the theatrical release. I think, especially for the theatrical version, I could be persuaded to say the same thing for the extended edition. I think it's essentially a flawless film. I think the music is incredible. I think the acting is incredible. I think their execution of music in this is incredible for a musical film, and we'll talk about that because there's ways to do it right, there's ways to do it wrong, and I think they do it very right. And yeah, it's emotional, it's heartfelt, and yes, there are some discrepancies between this and the true story, right? Like there are some whatevers, some omissions,
liberties taken to make it more entertaining.
However, a lot of it, like some of the stuff that you would look at in this film and go, oh, well, they probably played that up a little bit. A lot of that stuff they didn't really play up, right? Like it's more like, the stuff that they
feel like your initial impression is getting into it.
Sorry, my God. I'm
going to cut you off because you're tired. You are.
So I love the film. I think it's flawless. And yeah, I have, from a very young age, when I first saw this film, I would have been maybe I would have been like 12 or 13.
Okay.
Maybe 12 or 11-ish. Well, it came out in 2005, and I was born in 92.
That tracks.
So I was 12 or 13. And from the moment I first saw this film, I wouldn't say I loved it the first time. I was a little too young to be like, ooh, I love this film, because it's a heavy film. It's not really a kid movie. But at the very least, the music, I was
Captured.
I was captured.
Yeah.
I was drawn towards this film. So excellent film. What, as you cough your lungs out, what
you don't have to draw attention to it.
What are your thoughts on this film?
Yeah, I'm going to preface by kind of saying something fun here, that I think for most people that say they don't like country music, if they listen to more kind of classical country, specifically Johnny Cash, they'll go like, oh yeah, I can get into this.
Yeah.
Because I have a friend who, I think you met him a couple times, maybe at least once. He was at my wedding, but he's got extremely similar taste in music to you, like Green Day, Blink-182, like all those kind of punk bands and stuff. Anyway,
Yeah, pop punk.
yeah, and he doesn't like country.
Yeah.
But he loves Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, and it helps that, like, personality wise, Johnny Cash is and always was kind of the punk rock of, like, the famous T-shirt of Johnny Cash is him flipping the bird.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
like he's
yeah. Him and Elvis were kind of rebels of the day.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And then yeah.
So, but what do you think of the movie?
But the movie itself, I enjoyed it. Yeah. I thought it was a fun watch.
Yeah.
Entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
That's going to be mine.
Okay.
I'm going to keep it short and sweet.
All right.
Get into it.
All right. So let's get into it.
Yeah. Right.
What do you think of the? I mean, it's a musical. Obviously, it's a.
I don't know if I'd call it a musical in the sense that like when you think of a musical, usually there's like singing and dancing to convey the story.
I mean,
this has musical numbers.
Yeah, so it's a musical biopic, is what it is.
Right.
And
but they're not. Even though the actors are singing,
yeah,
they're not. It's not like Mary Poppins.
No, and Pete and I have. When do we? I think it was it Grease? It might have been our Grease review way back in the day, or La La Land. It's one of those two episodes where we sort of broke down the different types of musicals. And some of them, we basically said there are three. There are musicals where people are, well, I mean, there's kind of just two. There's musicals where people are singing and it makes sense narratively. Like no one sitting in the cafe or no one adjacent to the people who are singing or in the room of the people who are singing would be put off by the fact that all of a sudden someone is singing. And this movie falls very much in that category of, like, it every time in this film that there is music and someone is singing, it makes sense that they are doing so.
Well, they're usually always on stage performing,
yeah,
or kind of mumbling to themselves,
yeah,
trying to write a song.
100%. The other type of musical is the what the hell is going on musical, where everyone in the coffee shop should be going, what's up with this guy? All of a sudden, he's standing on the table singing and dancing. And in those musicals, either nobody gets up from their latte and notices that this is happening, or all of a sudden it's a flash mob and they're all in on the choreography as well.
Right.
All of that aside, all of that is to say and to ask you, what what do you? So the only time, really, the only prominent time that you hear actual Johnny Cash and June Carter is during the end credits.
Right.
The rest of the time, you're hearing as Johnny Cash and as June Carter, you're hearing Joaquin Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon. What do you think of their singing in this? Because it feels like a big part of it.
Are you asking me just like, I mean, they sound great. But if the question is more like how accurately did they copy the voice? That's a different question a little bit, I think. I don't know.
Yes and no. I mean, yeah, obviously. I mean,
their singing was great. Like,
yeah,
I had no problem with how they're singing. They sounded great. I would say Johnny did a better job of portraying the kind of what Johnny Cash sounds like. Did I just say Johnny sounds like Johnny Cash?
Maybe.
I don't know. Joaquin sounded closer to Johnny than
Reese did to June. Interesting. I mean, I feel like,
I don't think that makes or breaks the film.
No, but. And I feel like an important thing here is a lot of the time when you hear Johnny Cash, like if you think of the iconic Johnny Cash music that you hear stuff from when he's younger, right? Not so much his 47 gospel albums that he ends up recording. A lot of the stuff that you hear from June, you hear once she becomes June Carter Cash. You don't hear this like younger Texas Arcana or Texarkana June, right? The jukebox honky tonk stuff. And so, I mean, in June, or Reese in this is very much playing sort of that younger June. Yes, there are some differences. Obviously, like June Carter had a lot of Native ancestry, like she was part, I don't know if it was Cherokee or what it was. I wish I knew. But yeah, and she had a real, especially later on in her years, she had a real, like, not raspiness, kind of a raspiness, like a real distinctive kind of quality to her voice that Reese captures a little bit, but it's not super prominent. But you think they sound great?
Oh, of course, yeah.
And I'm glad you say that, because I discovered this film before I discovered Johnny Cash.
Okay.
And so this for some time, this was all I knew, was this film and the soundtrack for this film.
Right.
And what's interesting is, you know, and I've grown now to appreciate both, I think, equally.
Like real Johnny Cash.
Yeah, for what they are.
This movie portrayal.
But when I first heard real Johnny Cash, when I first heard the actual Walk the Line song, I didn't like it as much.
Really?
Well, because here's the thing, right? When you fall in love with something,
interesting.
To me, the soundtrack had become the original.
I know what you're saying, because even for me, I'm going to throw out an artist name that hardly anybody, half of our listeners might know. The other half would be like, "Who the heck is that?" Is Toby Mac, who's a Christian hip hop rap artist. Anyway, he often remixes his albums, and I never like his remixes. He's like one of my favorite artists, and I have a ton of his CDs, but usually after he'd release an album, and then a year or two later, you know, like in between that album and his next one, he would often release a remix,
right?
And I don't own a single remix because I don't like any of them.
Yeah, because
it's different
because you
and it's
love the
weird.
original.
Yeah.
And to me, this soundtrack had become the originals to me. Right. Was the version I knew for a couple of years. It wasn't like a week later I went and discovered. And I think there's also something about like, you know, there, especially when these were the versions I knew, and they're crisper, higher quality recordings.
Yeah.
They're real clean, nice, highly produced sounding. Yeah. And so they just...
I get it.
They've got more bass.
You're wrong,
They've got more dynamic. They've got... Well, no. And
no, you're wrong. The original is what you should be falling in love with. You're wrong,
and,
but I get
and what I'm... But I don't disagree with that. And what I'm saying, what I did say, is that now I have like an equal love for both of them as their own separate things. But yeah, it was real off-putting to me at first because it just stood out to me, and it wasn't like, well, it's not that I don't like the way he's singing. It's
a little bit different enough.
Even the best restored, cleaned up version of it sounds like it was recorded in the 60s, right? Yeah. Like it doesn't.
People pay good money just to have that kind of sound.
Oh, for sure, but it doesn't thump the way that this soundtrack thumps.
Yeah,
right. And so yeah, to me that was but something I had to get over for a while because I was like, I just don't. I don't know. Cool. So how much, like, what is your familiarity? How familiar were you with the Johnny Cash story before watching this movie?
I would say not very.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, after watching this story, I would honestly say I have less respect for the man. Interesting. Like, he's a bit of a dink.
Well, and so again, keep in mind a couple of things. They branch over a bunch of stuff, but also the man dies in the early 2000s. This film stops in 1968.
Right.
Right. And so there's a lot of who he goes on to become.
People can change. And they may or may not have hyped up some of the stuff that made me feel that way about him.
Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of taints the image that you kind of build up.
Right.
Was built up in the mind.
Well, but also, like, ultimately, I think the thing is like, you know, when you're 65, if you went back and watched a film made about you, even if they nailed all the details, right? Like, they took no creative liberties, man, God, this is the most, like, accurate, well-researched, whatever, and it's a biopic of Carl in the first 25, 30 years of his life, you would probably have a very similar appraisal where you're like,
oh, what an upstanding, fine young gentleman that guy was.
What a douche, right? So, I mean, it's kind of one of those things. We're looking at his young years. We're looking at his drug-addicted years. Yeah. We're not looking at his gospel singing years. We're not looking at his...
It's essentially, we're getting the worst of Johnny Cash.
Yeah, because that's where the major conflict is. Yeah. That's where the interesting story is.
That's the story, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big struggle.
Yeah. Right? Like, if Star Wars picked up right where, if the first Star Wars film picked up right where Return of the Jedi ends, and it's like, and then everything was great, you'd be like,
well, that's what The Mandalorian was. Everything wasn't great.
Yeah. Well, I know that's 5 years later.
But
it's 5 years later. But no, I get what you're saying.
5 years were great.
Hey, man. A lot can happen in 5 years.
You create a power vacuum, things don't go great.
Yeah. So cast-wise, obviously, we've talked about Joaquin Phoenix. We've talked about Reese Witherspoon. We have the T-1000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Robert Patrick.
Yeah. He's a mean man.
Is it Robert Patrick or Patrick Robert?
I don't know.
I think it's Robert Patrick. It's Robert Patrick.
He's a bad daddy.
He's he feels like he's probably a I mean, he is an accurate dad. Like, so the important thing is that the film, like the screenplay is based off of Johnny Cash's autobiography. And obviously, again, they've taken and changed some things. The things that they changed, like if you, again, I love this film. I love Johnny Cash. And so I've spent the time, I've watched all the featurettes. I've watched the videos and read the articles that are breakdowns on where the differences were and what the real story is and all this stuff. Where the big changes really come in are we sped this timeline up a little bit, or yes, he does go on to own this house, but he doesn't wake up in the woods after having passed out and go, "Hey, that's a beautiful house," right? Like that's not how that happened.
Right.
Everything else, like, blacking out on stage and getting arrested and just how bad. So Johnny Cash was on both, like at sort of in his heyday, he was drinking, obviously, but he was on both uppers, so like amphetamines, and downers, which is quite
volatile mix.
Quite a mix. And there's been, a lot of the experts who I've seen sort of talk about or commentate on what he was doing and where his habits were. And it's kind of amazing that he survived it. Like the fact that he reached the point where he was able to go through a detox is kind of incredible. But yeah, where was I?
I don't know. You're talking about drugs.
Yeah, drugs. You think he's a dink? He proposes to her in London, Ontario. That happened. I'm pretty sure the theater's not there anymore. Oh, we were talking about cast. Well, because you said bad dad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think probably a pretty, not stereotypical dad of the time, but a pretty believable dad when you factor in sort of when he's born and the era that he lives through.
Yeah.
The class and area that they grow up in. And then you throw in 1940s alcoholism into the mix, and that's the guy you get.
Yeah, it's a hard time,
right?
Yeah, sorry,
because they're like picking cotton.
Yeah,
it's like they're like poor.
Yeah, I didn't think he looked the part extremely well,
Elvis,
but the Elvis cameos were fun.
Yeah, well, and I think it's important.
Stuck in the car with him, all I kept talking about was food.
Want some chili fries? I think there's a little bit of an art to it, in that you don't want to get like. Have you seen Elvis?
I have not.
Okay, we recently did. I don't know if we can. I don't know if I can get away with showing that to you because Pete and I reviewed it like less than 50 episodes ago or something.
I've seen Rocket Man.
Have you?
Yeah, that was a good one. I liked Rocket Man.
I have not.
Ooh,
yeah,
interesting.
And there's a story behind why I've not. I'm completely willing to watch it, but I have not.
It was fun.
God, what was I? I'm so scatterbrained right now. Cast. And
I don't know.
Yeah.
Moving on.
God.
Moving on.
No, I know, but we did move on, and we were talking about.
No, we didn't. You're still talking about cast.
No, because we were done
Elvis.
talking about Robert Patrick. Good Lord! Wait, work backwards. Rocket Man. Have you seen Elvis? We were talking about Elvis, right? God, I don't know what's happening. I was sick about a week ago, and my body and my brain. And
That wasn't not even that far back in the conversation.
I know.
Like we literally were talking about
I'm very dehydrated still. I think there's an art to, yes, he doesn't look like the iconic image of Elvis, but I think there's almost an art to that in that, like, you don't want to take away from, like, you want a guy that looks and sounds enough like Elvis, but you're not going to go out of your way to have a moment where your audience is not paying attention to Johnny Cash on screen because, holy crap, that guy is just completely embodying Elvis, right? Like, you have people there who are clearly those characters, but are sort of caricatures of those characters in a way.
I don't know if I agree with that.
No?
No. Because it's a cameo. They're not.
He makes enough appearances.
He's got like one speaking line. He asks about chili fry. Well, not one speaking line. He got one scene where he speaks.
Yeah, we see him sing a couple of times.
Well, I would include that in that scene. We don't see him singing after, like he he's
cutting a record when Johnny Cash first discovers the record shop.
But either way, like, I think if it's meant to be a cameo,
yeah,
and I'm not immediately going, oh crap, that's Elvis,
right?
Then you've missed the point,
right?
That's like you make a Marvel movie, say, let's say Fantastic Four is coming out. So Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Right. And then Captain America makes a quick cameo in the suit. But the suit looks nothing like Captain America's suit. Like, there's no stars and spangled.
Like a stretch.
But he's like, hey, I'm Captain America. But I got a maple leaf on my chest and my suit is green. It's like, okay.
You feeling good about this analogy?
I mean, it's a bit of a mess, but I'm trying to drive home the point strongly, right? Like,
so what did
the point of a cameo is for somebody to go, holy crap.
Yes.
And this actor didn't make me go, holy crap, that's Elvis. Because there was, like, I did pick up eventually in the recording scene, which is the first kind of showing of Elvis.
Yeah.
That, oh crap, that's Elvis in the recording booth. But it took me a minute. So I kind of missed the holy crap, that's Elvis, because I had to dig to get it.
Right. So what did you like about this movie? What stood out to you as 'cause you said at one point you were getting sucked into it.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a captivating story.
Yeah.
It's a well written.
Yeah.
The acting's great. The music is good, and yeah.
What didn't you like?
I didn't like the length.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was too long.
By just 13 minutes? Or
well, the one we watched was what, 2 hours and
2 hours
15?
and 30.
2:30.
The other one's about 2:15.
I would probably say it's 30 to 40 minutes long.
40.
Yeah.
See, so what all would you cut? Because this is the thing, right? Is like,
I feel like they dwell on the drug stuff longer than needed.
But that's the story. That's really the story of this film.
It's part of the story.
It's the arc that he goes on.
The story is the story I see.
Yeah.
Watching this film is Johnny Cash looking for love, thinking he has it, but really he's in love with somebody else.
Right.
And that person that he actually feels like he loves keeps shooting him down because of situations. And because of that and past trauma, he turns to drugs and alcohol.
Right.
So drugs and alcohol and that addiction cycle is part of the story, but it's not the story they're telling.
Right. but it's a giant part of his story, right? That's like.
But essentially what I'm saying is they're trying to tell us two stories here.
Right.
Right. You either, and this, I will say this right now. I think Rocket Man's a better film.
I mean,
because Rocket Man, I think I can say this without spoiling
Rocket film
it.
is a different type of
Rocket
film.
Man's a different type of film, but Rocket Man, I would say, focuses more on that addiction cycle and not on a love story.
Right.
As much. I would think. It's been a while since I watched Rocket Man, so I might be kicking myself if we watch Rocket Man.
But you know what I mean?
Like Rocket Man handled, like, because there is a little bit of a love story in Rocket Man, but the main focus is the addiction, and that love story aspect kind of takes a back seat.
To me, it just feels like to say,
like, they're telling two stories. Pick one and use the other one as a catalyst. Don't try and tell both of them in full. Because you trying to tell two stories at the same time, they both suffer. But
they're very intertwined.
They are.
Right? It's because of the love that he turned. Well, it's not just because of that. It's the touring and the fame and the whatever. Yeah. But it's the drugs and alcohol that prevent him from.
Yeah, but I think you can tell that story a lot in a shorter time frame.
Do you think there'd be the same payoff?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like they could have been cut. I felt long. It did.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know where and what you cut, but I feel like the addiction stuff, the struggle with drugs is where you'd go if you needed to trim it.
Interesting. Because I'd be curious to look up and figure out, because I'd be curious to go and look at like time stamps and see like how much the film, like at what point do we reach that?
What scenes make up the 13 minutes?
It's simple stuff like there's a shot where he's like sitting on the front porch working on a new song, and it's clearly Christmas because there's Christmas lights up. That's added. Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of that. That's just like them teasing.
Probably like June writing Ring of Fire.
No, I think that's in the original. But little stuff like, just Johnny, or like teasing, or they extended a couple of songs, made a couple of songs a little bit longer, showed you a little bit more music.
The scene in the apartment scene with that rando.
It's not a rando.
Who is it?
It's what's his name?
Seemed like a random dude to me.
It's because you're uncultured. But keep talking.
Like that scene seemed to add nothing to the film. Like
it just shows you a year later that like where he is.
So what? We like
that he's lost everything.
Jump to him stumbling around in the woods from the scene before. He's still strung out and he's stumbling around in the woods and right, like I don't think it adds anything. Yeah,
I mean it's also only like
5 minutes,
3 minutes long,
3 to 5 minutes. But that's the kind of stuff I'm talking. Like I feel like you're just okay. He's still addicted to drugs. Next scene, okay, he's still addicted to drugs. Okay,
right. Next
scene, he's still okay. All right, I get it.
That is,
even though it's long, and they could have cut some of that. It's still played well. It's still like edited well. It still flows well. There's a part of me that was just like, This feels really long. Unnecessarily.
Sure. What am I looking for here? It is
The Rando Apartment Buddy.
Yeah, it's not quite what I'm looking for, but because that song is called, and it is performed by him, and in the film he plays
Nobody.
Waylon Jennings.
Yeah, he's not important.
Waylon Jennings.
I've heard that name. What's he sung? What's he performed?
Well, things like
What's he known for?
things like the song I'm a long way from home. The song that he's singing in the movie.
Right.
The theme song from Dukes of Hazzard.
Nice.
Right? Like, and what's really cool about it, and one of the reasons why I don't think you take that scene out of it, is the guy playing Waylon Jennings is his son, Scooter Jennings. So that's
not a reason to leave it in.
No, but that's some that throws some weight behind that cameo.
Cool and thoughtful cameo, but it's not a reason not to cut it.
So you could have cut all the Elvis stuff. Like, fundamentally, there's no reason to have Elvis in this movie.
Absolutely. You could have cut that Elvis scene.
Right?
Absolutely.
All of that is just world building. That's just to like set the scene
is the
for you.
He's touring with.
Yeah.
You could have cut it. I think it's more integral to the story than some other stuff potentially. And I have to, without watching it and going like, cut it. Cut it. Again, right? Like, yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
2.5 hours is just long. Even if you take the 15 minutes extended out, that's 2 hours and 15 minutes. That feels unnecessarily long.
Yeah. I mean, I think you'll find that biopics are typically longer because... Are you looking up the exact same thing that I am right now?
Rocket Man's 2 hours.
2 hours. So you would just drop 15 minutes.
Sure.
So now I'm curious, because in another film that I'm going to show you at some point.
Well, that's not Bohemian Rhapsody. What was it called?
Bohemian Rhapsody is 2 hours and 15 minutes
is it
long.
Really?
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see if that's 15 minutes too long.
Yeah.
Ooh, fascinating. Okay. I mean, you've made your... I'm a little disappointed, I think, because I kind of thought that you'd be a little more... I thought you'd really like it.
I did really like it.
Especially because you and I have a deep-seated connection to this film.
Grapes. Yeah, we do. We have some history. We have some history. This film has history with us.
So a couple of years ago, probably more than a couple now.
Probably close to 8 or 9.
8 or 9 years ago. There was a local fundraiser lip sync battle.
Yeah.
And you and I entered 2 years in a row. I think this was the first year that we did it.
Yeah. The second year we tried to recreate it, not as successfully.
No. It was fun. It was, I think, funnier
kind of
the second time.
We took the same concept.
Your gimmick was the same.
And then we kind of upped the ante a little bit.
So anyways, we performed the song, not necessarily from this film, but we used the version from this soundtrack called It Ain't Me, Babe. The song It Ain't Me, Babe. Mm-hmm. And so our thing was I walked out on the stage and I had taken and edited into the soundtrack a clip of him going, "Hello, I'm Johnny Cash." And so we did all that, and I walk out onto the stage. I got my hair slicked back. I'm dressed all like black jacket,
man in
black, whatever. I've got the guitar hiked up super high so that I have to play it the way that he plays it. And I start playing and lip syncing, and it's the song's a duet. And there's then all of a sudden there's a moment where just before June goes to start singing, Carl comes out in Did we go to the Salvation Army?
I don't know where we got it.
We found a dress.
A dress and a wig.
A dress and a wig. Oh, yeah, there was a wig.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I had big clompy boots on.
We won.
we
tied.
We tied with
which
the Hirmas.
Was bullshit.
Yeah.
Because ours was better. No offense.
What did they do?
Did we win the next year?
No, we did it. Because Nico won it with his little... He didn't even sing.
He didn't even sing.
He didn't even lip sync. He just like pretended to play drums like the Mr. Bean. And somebody else has done it
He
too.
ripped off a Rowan Atkinson skit.
Yeah.
Friggin' Nico. So anyways, there is video of this somewhere. If I can find it, maybe I'll pop it up on Patreon.
Bare minimum, there'll be a picture on Patreon.
There's also somewhere there's a newspaper clipping because we ended up in the town paper.
Yeah.
I was not embarrassed at all. I don't know.
I'm good. I look damn good in that dress.
All right. Are you ready to score this thing?
Sure, let's do it. We gotta go dig out a car.
So, I've put a lot of thought into this. I don't remember what I scored it last time.
Really?
And I didn't look it up because I didn't want to... I didn't want to influence myself at all. I'm going to give it a 10.
No, you're not.
I am. I'm giving it a 10. I think it's a flawless film. And I gave Jojo Rabbit.
Really?
I gave Jojo Rabbit a 9.5, and I certainly think this is at least 0.5 better a film than Jojo Rabbit. 10 out of 10. Yeah, I
call shenanigans.
I have to. And so that takes my score from a 7.5 up to a 7.6, and then my total to a 7.4 respectively. So, but yeah, no, I did. I put a lot of thought into this, and I was like, well, do I want to throw out the first 10 of this series to this film? And I'm like, I can't think of a better film to do it for.
Really?
I can think of other films I would do it for.
Yeah.
Like if you said, "Oh, I haven't seen Sound of Music," we'd be watching Sound of Music next week, and I'd likely be giving it a 10.
So many times.
Yeah,
it's one of the few movies I watched at Mike Remy Eastman's.
Yeah, and it's like it's like a 10.
Yeah,
so,
that, Ben-Hur, and some Red Skeleton.
Yeah. So what are you giving it?
A 2. Think I would give it a 10, but I got stuck in your laneway, so that loses it a mark.
Okay, down to a 9.
And then
it's too long.
It's too long, so that's a 0.5 off.
Okay, 8.5.
The Elvis didn't hit right, so that's an 8.
Oh wow. Wow.
I'm just kidding. I'm just messing, obviously.
Had a little bit of a foot cramp at some point, so that's 2.5 points.
Yeah. You didn't cuddle me right. That's another 4 points.
Oh, jeez. I don't even. What are we down
You
to?
made me wear that dress when we reenacted.
You can't give a negative score.
That's -4. I think we're at 0. Am I mathing right? No, I think it was a really good film. I really enjoyed it. I do think either the pacing felt weird or it was too long.
And that could be on me for showing you the extended.
And I think it was too long. I think that it felt too long. The Elvis cameo is a gripe, but I don't think it hurts it.
Okay.
I think I give it an 8.5, which I think what I gave Pig, and I think that that feels right.
Yeah. Which just bumps your opinion of my score up to a 7.2 from a 7.1.
There you go.
So
you get another point
0.1. No, 0.1. It's a 0.1.
Sure. I'll add another decimal place, and then it'll look like the score is actually moving, maybe.
What'd you watch this week?
What did I watch? I watched One Piece.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Did you get my Patreon
I did.
article?
Yeah, I'll post that.
I wrote a Patreon article about One Piece.
It's actually, by this point, It's already up.
There you go.
By this point, it's up, and you owe me another one
What? Damn it.
every other week.
Every other week?
Yeah.
I thought it was once a month.
No,
Oh, hell. I can't do that. I'm not a writer.
every other week.
Oh, you're worse than me having to write 4 quarterly
But think about this. Think about this. Think about this.
Work.
Every other week, you don't have to.
That's not how that works.
It is. If you have to do it every other week, then on the other every other week,
I might have to
you don't
go
have
on
to.
strike.
That's fine. We'll stop paying you.
Okay. All right. So it's been a little while since we got together.
Yes. 2 weeks.
So
But through the magic of Hollywood, the audience didn't know that
miss a
until
beat.
just now. Yeah.
So we've had 2 family movie nights
Ooh.
since then,
Yeah.
and I watched we watched one movie which I had never seen before.
Oh,
The Disney animated.
those
flick.
exist.
Yeah,
You're saying
yeah.
that like,
This is a Disney animated film.
okay, like a classic?
Not
No.
become classic, I would say.
Okay. 2000s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you
So-
trying to guess or?
No, I'm just trying to gauge in my mind whether I think it could qualify for a classic.
It would qualify as classic because it's Frozen.
That's like 2010s, and
It's at the very least, it's iconic.
it's iconic. I don't know if we're in classic
Yeah.
territory yet.
But anyway, and it was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Fun film. I can see why people liked it.
Yeah, that damn song.
Yeah. Yeah. We followed that up with another Disney 2010s animated called Moana.
Oh, you didn't watch Frozen 2?
No, I
Okay.
thought that was too on the nose. I think Moana's better. I like Moana better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the story hits better.
Do you plan on watching Frozen 2?
Probably.
Because I'm very curious to hear what you think of the ending of it.
Oh, okay.
The ending of Frozen 2 pissed me off.
Did it?
It was just like, okay, this is just...
I think I remember you guys reviewed it. didn't
yeah,
you?
it just
I
becomes
think
like,
I
okay,
remember
now this
listening
is
to that.
ridiculous. It's just ridiculous now. Yeah.
We'll find out. And then my boy is potty training it right now.
Yeah.
And every time he poops on the potty, he gets to watch a TV show, which is usually like
Oh,
Paw
geez.
Patrol
Okay.
or Spider-Man, which is not like, it's like a kid's version of Spider-Man that's pretty much the Paw Patrol model.
Oh, I've seen like
Spider-Man and Friends. it's
like
called.
exaggerated hands and feet sizes and yeah.
Big heads. But he pooped on the potty.
Attaboy.
And then out of nowhere, he's like, I want to watch Ninja Turtles. I was like, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. So I went to Netflix and I looked for it. There's like nothing. I could have swore there was a lot more Ninja Turtles on Netflix.
Used to be.
And now there's only like, there's the new animated Ninja Turtles is on there.
Yeah.
Like
the movie?
yeah, the one that just came out a few
Yeah.
years back. And then there's the live action CGI ones.
Oh yeah, with Steve Amell
yeah.
and
Then there's
Johnny Knoxville.
there's there's another I think it's the animated one that came out in the early 2010s.
Oh, okay.
Where like Leonardo's in the jungle, and then he has to come back to New York.
It's a little more.
Raphael's the night. What is it? Night Stalker.
It's a little more almost Clone Wars style of animation, but not quite.
It's a spiritual sequel to the
films?
90s live action.
Oh,
is what
okay,
it's
cool.
supposed to be. Anyway, and then there was like this other one which looks like a TV animated movie.
But these are all movies.
Yeah,
these
they're
are all like
movies.
long.
There's no TV shows. So I was a little bummed out. There was no TV show I could get him to watch day to day or week to week, whatever.
Yeah.
But we ended up watching the animated one, which or not
The newest.
It's based on one of the TV shows.
Oh, okay.
It's called Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie.
Oh, okay.
So it's called the movie. It's a Netflix
Yeah.
direct to their streaming
And?
service kind of. It's good. It's fun. Yeah. It's a fun flick. It's a little more kind of it's not a grounded version of the Turtles.
Right.
Because all the Turtles have got some kind of like mutant powers. It's like if you mix the Ninja Turtles with the X-Men. Like Leonardo can teleport.
Yeah, see, Ninja Turtles are one of those things that every time they
Raphael can create like an armored construct of himself.
Every time they do it, they seem to do it wildly different than they did it last time. And so the fans are always like, nobody does the Turtles right.
I'm a huge turtle nut.
Yeah.
So you probably, this might be news for you. Every time the Turtles gets made, usually one of the two original creators is involved in the process of that creation.
Okay.
Right. So the two people who created the Ninja Turtles were Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman. Okay. And
cousin of yours?
No, we're not related.
Right.
There might be way back, but probably not. Anyway,
you wish.
Yeah, I do kind of. Hey, brother, what's happening? Sign my comics. They had a falling out in the early '90s, and then I think it was Peter
There's
Laird.
a big dispute over the rights, and
they sold the rights. And one of them didn't want to, and the other one did. And the one that didn't finally relented, and it kind of like drove a wedge between them. And they never talked to each other.
Right.
And they never worked with each other almost again. They have more recently. Anyway, so the first like cartoon that like my generation remembers in the 90s cartoon, was, I believe it was, I could be mistaken. It might be the opposite, but I'm pretty sure it was Peter Laird was the creative mind brought in to kind of help oversee it. And that one's fairly grounded. You jump to the next cartoon and Kevin Eastman is involved, and it's a little more out there. It's a little more kind of far-fetched.
Right.
In the storyline, a little more, not sci-fi, but like, a little more kind of wild in its depiction.
Right.
So it's kind of the minds that are involved are why it kind of goes one way or the other, and
right
a little bit. Anyway, fun additional fact is they did get back together about 4 or 5 years ago, and they did a comic book called The Last Ronin, which is like the kind of the story of the last remaining of the 4 Jedi and his death.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was really good. I got it. It was awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. They made amends, and they were like, let's have one more kick at the can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's make something else to fight about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
Anyway, they're buddies now.
And One Piece. You watched
One Piece. I said that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. So good. What did you watch?
Since we last talked, I watched Father of the Bride.
Oh.
Father of the Bride 2.
Okay.
First one's better.
Okay.
There seemed to be some, among the people I was watching it with, there seemed to be some debate. People were split. A lot of people
Who'd you watch this with?
Watched it with
was this like a weekend watch
my
party
girlfriend, her father, and some of her siblings.
Okay.
And
go to
so
the farm, and this is all you had available to watch?
No, it was like that was the intent. It was like, do you want to come over and have dinner and watch Father of the Bride? And I was like,
is somebody trying to send somebody a message here?
And it was like, sure, yeah, we could do that. And then like a week later or whatever, it was like, I made shepherd's pie. Do you want to come watch Father of the Bride too? Okay. Sure. I think the first one's better.
Okay.
I had never seen either. The first one's better. With my mom, we watched Force Awakens.
Nice. or not nice, depending on your take, I guess.
Really solid film is my most recent real solid film. You know, especially when you watch it in a vacuum. Like if you take yourself back, if you watch Force Awakens and you completely clear out, like, okay, what comes after this, or blah blah blah, you just look at this film on its own and you take yourself back to when it came out and the excitement that everyone felt walking out of that theater. The movie ends and you think, this feels like a film where you're filled with so many questions, and it's time to speculate as fans, and we're excited to see what comes next, right? Who is Rey? Who is Snoke? What is happening on? Oh my gosh, I can't believe that the people who died in this film died. Like, this is crazy, and what's going on with this? And holy crap, right?
And they take all that and they flush it down the toilet.
And so then we watched Last Jedi.
And the toilet swirled.
And what I will say is not a bad movie. There are issues that I have with it. I think the whole Canto Bight, like the whole Casino Planet thing, is just wasted time with poorly done CGI. Like, it just feels rushed and sloppy, and the Casino Planet kind of feels like the Jar Jar Binks of the sequel trilogy. In a lot of ways, it's just played for laughs and you know, whatever.
CGI vomit.
You do feel a little bit of the Rian Johnson undoing, or one director. There's no point in naming names. One director undoing a lot of things that another director did in an attempt to take it in their own direction. Which, yes, like, you are the director of this film, so please take this story and make it what you want to make it. But don't waste so much energy hacking down, right? Like, there is a framework put in place for you.
Not even a framework. I would say a precedent for you to follow the lead.
Yes.
And not destroy everything that's gone before.
Well, but it's a framework in the sense that, like, there's no, like, Rian Johnson was allowed to, like, there are so many things that JJ sets up, but he sets up as a question mark, as a blank canvas for Rian Johnson to do whatever he wants with, right? I'm going to present you with this idea that there is this big bad named Snoke. I'm not going to tell you who he is, right? That's for the next director. That is for whoever is writing this story. I think J.J. Abrams, in a lot of ways, did Star Wars: The Force Awakens very selflessly, because he could have gone, I'm gonna bake in all this crazy backstory, and I'm going to explain what's going on with this, and I'm going to here's Snoke.
That he was trying to secure his own future.
How? He was
because I have the answers to these questions. I have put all these questions out to the ether. I have the answer to the story.
Yeah, but they had already picked a director for the second and third film, and neither of those were JJ. It wasn't until the director for the third film backed out.
Was that how it worked?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there were three different directors for the three different films, and it wasn't until the go kill yourself, Rian Johnson, because fans are some of the worst human beings on the planet. And I know you and I have disagreed on that, but I plant my flag firmly in that. Fans are capable of being the most volatile people on the planet. So regardless, here's Snoke. Do whatever you want with him, right? Here's Rey extending a lightsaber, extending the Skywalker legacy saber to Luke. What he does with that next is completely up to you, right? So anyways, so I have some issues with The Last Jedi for sure. There are some things. I think The Last Jedi gives us some of the coolest moments in all of Star Wars, like Admiral Holdo doing the light speed jump through the Star Destroyers and the Juggernaut ship, and like that's incredible. It's insane and it's so good.
It's incredible, but then it also creates a whole bunch of issues.
Like what?
Well, why has nobody just created weapons that jump into light speed and pointed them at other ships?
So what? So there's no storytelling left to be. There's no new ground to tread in all of Star Wars if you can't.
That's completely untrue, because we've gotten lots of good storytelling from Star Wars outside of those films since Disney took over.
It was a cool shot. It's a cool shot. It's a cool idea.
I will grant
and
you
you're grasping at
that it's. I will grant you that it's rule of cool.
Yeah,
110%.
So, anyways, we're not here debating. We're not here debating Star Wars. I'm telling you what I watched. We're not here debating Star Wars. So that's one of the coolest moments I think in all of Star Wars. Another really cool thing is sort of that end scene when they're on Crate. Just like the visuals of this like red stone planet that's covered in this white salt. And so as the ships are going and they've got that like stabilizer thing that's down, you just see like these clouds of red coming out. Yeah. It looks great. We still need to do an episode on this because I'm going to end what I watched this week by telling you that my rewatch, and people are going to fight me on this. I don't care. Go to hell. Watching The Last Jedi again. Yeah, I have issues with the film 100%. 100%. It has just made me quadruple down on my opinion that Luke's story arc in The Last Jedi is not only valid, is not necessary. It's not like the definitive, like, yes, this was the only way his arc could have gone. But there's nothing wrong with his arc. It is valid and consistent with who we've seen. Like it's not an unreasonable gap to think that Luke ended up here. And I will even say, because I've been watching a lot of like interviews, going back and watching a lot of interviews from like Luke or of Mark Hamill. I watched this like 20-minute video. It's like every time Mark Hamill tried to subliminally warn us about The Last Jedi, and it's all him doing press and, whatever, and talking about his role and how he disagreed with this and he blah, blah, blah. I have all the respect in the world for Mark Hamill. I really, truly do. But after watching some of the interviews that I've watched in the last week, I think in those interviews, a lot of the time he was displaying some whiny crybabiness to me. Like just some like, dude, it's like, because in the same breath he says, it's not my story. It's not my story. Right? It's not Luke's story anymore. And it's like, you're right. So shut up. Right? You're upset that it's not. We get that. You're upset that like what you wanted after all these years, you wanted what a lot of fans have been very vocal about. You wanted to come onto the scene and do exactly what you said you wouldn't do in the film. You wanted to walk out there with a laser sword and face down the entire First Order. And a lot of fans wanted you to as well. You didn't get to do that. And you're pissy about it. And I get it. But that's not the way the story went. Anyways.
Now we can't be friends.
And now you and I can't be friends. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Get yourself unstuck. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you check out our Facebook.
Can't be friends after I get out of your laneway.
Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all listed below. Patreon, our new revamped, revitalized, better than ever before Patreon page, where
There's actually stuff there now.
There's all kinds of stuff there, dude. There is every other week. There is a like 30-ish minute bonus Patreon episode that goes up. If you're at a slightly higher tier, you get a video copy of that episode. Every week there's a sort of a letter that comes that's posted either from Pete or Carl. It bounces back and forth. Carl's super excited about it. What?
I want to do it once a month.
There's all kinds of fun stuff happening on there. Increased voting power when Pete and I do our votes on what we're going to watch next. There's also, if you're one of the tippy top tiers, a fun deep dive back into some old creative content, Movie Men podcast adjacent content, old videos that Carl and I shot maybe like 15, 16, 17 years ago now, that used to be up on YouTube, have long since been deleted. Audio from mine and Carl's first ever podcast episode from like 12 years ago.
That's scary.
On video games.
You put that back up on the internet? How dare you?
It's not up yet. But it's one of the things.
Subject the world
it's one of the
to
things
that
that's going to roll out. I haven't even. I'm pretty sure it's 2 hours of us talking about video games.
Probably so bad.
It's probably horrible. We recorded it. We set a phone on the table and we just like huddled around the phone and talked into the phone. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Anyways, and we have merch.
Yes.
Movie Men branded snow shovels.
Yes.
You can keep one in your car.
If you want to pay us to come shovel Brady's driveway so people don't get stuck, we will.
If you want us, what? If you want to pay us
to come shovel your driveway. Yeah. The Movie Men experience at this point.
I don't. They would come.
Yeah.
No.
And pay us.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's an experience.
They can do what
people want to pay for experiences.
So why don't? But that will be. It's a big driveway. So why don't we make that a higher Patreon tier, and at a lower Patreon tier, they can pay to come shovel yours, and they'll know where your family lives.
I like my idea
rethinking
better.
the whole thing
I like
now
my
a little
idea
bit,
better.
huh? Uh-huh.